Okay, so last time we started to recreate this game, and at the moment we are creating the obstacles and the elements that we need before we create the randomly generated levels. And today I hope that we are at least close to finishing all the obstacles that we need. I should have started the project, but I forgot. So we started now. And at the end, we'll create controls for both PC and Android. That's not very complicated. Um, it's just an if statement, but I don't have it here. So let's see Unity. Unity. So you can say like this if, and then check if it's PC, Android, or you have many options. These are the options. So we can have controls for both Windows and Android without having to make two separate projects. So in the same script we have both controls. Let's try to look at this game and see what else we can create. You see that these obstacles are circular. I don't know. I need to find the exact shape, which is a quarter of this circle, and I don't know how to search for this. If you can help me with that, that'd be good. So we use rectangles instead. Close some windows. Wait, I closed the wrong one. Okay, let's see the trailer of this game to get some inspiration. So we have a version of this but with the rectangles, and we have that this here, which changes the color of the ball. And let's create a smaller version of that. So this, but slightly smaller. So we have two versions of this, and let's call this easy obstacle 3. Save it in the prefabs, and let's see we need to we can create this one here, but this will be a little bit different. So let's make an empty object. Four. Now I need to see this. And also before we create this one with the lines, let's create let's take this one scene. Let's add two of these here. Now let's reset the position of everything, main object too. Now we resize these. And let's place them at equal distance from the center. But the script here, I believe it's the direction of the rotation is random, so we want to have a fixed rotation. This should rotate in opposite directions. Might have to create another script. Go to here, the easy obstacle one script. So it's random the direction. Then we need to create another script. So let's remove this from both. Also let's unpack the prefab. So it's no longer these in the scene are no longer prefabs. And on this we create a new script. Easy obstacle 4. And here we'll copy this easy obstacle 1 script, modify it. So instead here where it says where we delete this completely, so the rotation is fixed. But one problem is with this is that when these collide with when it's time when the obstacle is no longer on the screen and it's time to delete it, the problem with this is that we get the parent, which is this easy obstacle. Let's call it child. So easy obstacle for child, and this will be deleted but not the main one. So we need to create a function that finds the parent at the top. But first let's set the rotation here. So if this is -1, then the other one should be 1. Now let's play the scene to check if it's working. Yes, it is, but the rotation is 0, rotation speed. And also see that we have a problem that these colors are not in the correct order. We need to switch to order a little bit. So this one should be blue. Let's copy the blue, place it here, and also let's change the type. and now the other one should be purple. And type 3. Let's check if it's working now. It should. So we need to have both colors when these obstacles collide, otherwise we cannot pass with the ball through this. Seems to be working. And now we need to review that part of the code where we delete the obstacles. Okay, so here where we uh, collide with the obstacle destroyer and we destroy the obstacle, we want to destroy the regardless of how many parents it has, the top parents. To do this we need a function. So here we want but let's first check the documentation. Unity transform parent. To see what this returns, I need to know exactly what this is returning. The parent of the transform. Not sure if this is a transform or a game object. Guess we have to try and test. Okay, so public void, not void, transform parent, transform. So this function returns a transform. Find the top parent. Okay. Then while transform parent is different than null. So first let's create a transform top parent transform, and while this we have a parent, then we sorry, so this should be equal transform parent. So the first parent, we place it in this variable here, and then while this this variable, this transform has a parent, then we place the next parent here. So this equal to this transform, or not just parent. And now we okay, we need to return then at the end. So we know that obstacles have at least one parent. So here we place the first parent, and then we check if that parent has a parent, and so on until we find the top parent, and then we return it here at the end. So instead here of destroy the parent, the first parent, we want the top parent. So like this, destroy find top parent. And now we need to check if this is working. And also we might have a problem with this one because it might happen twice, but I have a problem with the speed. increase that speed a little bit. Okay, let's see if it gets deleted. See, now we have a problem. Let's see. Can't destroy component. Yes, the problem is we try to destroy the transform component, which does not work. So here this returns a transform, but then we need to say that game object, so we delete the whole object. But to make this simpler, let's just change this from transform to game object, and here at the end we return the game object. Here let's add the object to the name of the function. And let's test again. Okay, so this works. Now we have a function that finds the top parent, so we can have as many layers as we want. Now let's save this prefab. So now we have for easy obstacles, let me see that trailer again. Let's create this one, the lines. This one seems a bit harder. Let's create a folder here, easy obstacles. These are the easy ones. This folder. Now we need to have a prefab of just one rectangle, like here in so we need a sprite renderer, and also a box collider 2D. But before that, let's go to sprites and place our square sprite. And we have two versions of this, one with the pivot in the middle and one with the pivot on the bottom. So see, if we increase the scale on the y-axis, it stays still because the pivot is on the bottom. And we want to keep it like this, but rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, slightly smaller. And now we need 4 versions of this for each color. But we need to know we need to copy the colors. Let's first create 4 versions. let's add a box collider 2D and change the tag to obstacle. Now we need to know, take the colors one by one. So this one is 0, but we need to add that script, obstacle script, to all of these. Takes a while because I need to do it manually. Okay, now we have each colors. And we wanted these to move in a certain direction, and once they reach once they're no longer visible, we want to delete them and spawn another one at the end. But first let's save these. Now we can delete them, and we want to place on them a rigid body 2D, body type kinematic, meaning kinematic means only it can only be moved by script. Collision we want continuous. We want to freeze the rotation, but that doesn't matter. And here in box collider we want this to be trigger, and we want to make a script. So this is easy obstacle child, obstacle 5 child. In the script is very simple. We'll just move them towards a certain direction with a certain fixed speed. And now we want the direction to be random, but to do this, so I said that when they leave the screen we want to delete them. So here in our obstacle we need to create an empty collider called obstacle child destroyer, and we will give it this tag, child destroyer. And here when or even a little bit further away, box collider, and this will delete the childs of this obstacle. We make this trigger, and we want to have another one on the opposite side, and let's disable both. And now Now we want to add those shells here and place them inside our obstacle. One of each color. And the order does matter. The order matters. Place them in order. So it starts like this. But let's see that scale. Uh, we need to know the y here. So let's copy that y and then we add that to the position or never mind. Okay, and here on the main parent or on the main object we want to create another script. Is the obstacle 5. And here we want to decide the direction first in the script. And here let's call this child obstacle child destroyer left and this one right. And now we want to create a random direction. So here we want a public int movement multiplier, just move multiplier, and in start function we want to create a random direction. So int random int equal to random range from 0 to 2, like this. And now if this is 0, then move multiplier is -1, else move is 1. So we will multiply the direction with this move multiplier to change it. Now that we have a direction, we want two variables here: public game object obstacle child destroyer left and right. So those colliders that destroy the rectangles once they leave the screen. And after we select a direction, depending on what it is, we want to enable data destroyer. So in this case, if it's -1, it's going towards the left side, so that obstacle child destroyer left is enabled. Set active true, so we enable, and we do the same for the other direction. Active false, so true. And now we want to give those initial rectangles, we want to give them a direction. But we need to have these now. Let's see, instead of having them already here, let's just copy this position relative to the parent. Let's delete those. So the first starting position, we save this position here, public vector3 starting position, and let's go into inspector and change that to the position of the first rectangle. Here where it says starting position, like this, now we have the position, and let's have an array of with all the types of rectangles. Game object, obstacle children, obstacle 5 children, okay. Now let's place them in the inspector. In order. Okay. And we want to spawn now. So let's have a variable here, public transform, last child transform, and now we need a function to spawn some rectangles when this object is spawned, this obstacle is spawned. Initial, we'll call this initial spawn, public void initial spawn, and now we know the starting position. So for int equal to 0, smaller than or equal to 3, so we want to spawn the we spawn at the starting position 28. We want this array, so this array, and then position should be starting position, rotation, the rotation from the prefab, and after we spawn one we want to change the position, so starting position is equal, and this should be equal um, with the same, but we add this value on the y-axis from the scale, so plus equal. Oh, it doesn't work like this. Then it's plus equal vector 3 does this work like this? Sorry, new vector 3. Okay, it works. And let's do this 2 times. So we do this 2 times, meaning we'll have 4 rectangles at the start. We need to test if this works first. And also we selected the direction, but here in our rectangles we need to let's freeze the Y position as well. And now here in this script we want when we collide with a destroyer to destroy these, but not the parent, just the child. Let's copy this. So if it is this tag, obstacle child destroyer child, then we destroy just this game object. And when one is destroyed, we want to spawn another one of the same color. So this is, let's test if this initial spawn works. We have an error somewhere. Yes, we forgot to add these 2 obstacle child destroyers to our script. Okay, now we have them. But something happened. The rectangles did not spawn. So let's check the logic here. Yes, the problem is we forgot to use this function here in start. So after we get the direction, we want the initial spawn. And also here we want, after we spawn, we want to get the rigid body component, rigid body 2D velocity, and then set this to some speed multiplied by that move multiplier. Let's create a float for the speed, move speed, and here the velocity should be vector 2 because it's a rigid body 2D, right, then multiplied by move speed, and then multiplied by move multiplier. So, so vector to right means it has one, the length 1 on the x-axis and 0 on y. And here in our at the end here we want to save that that last child transform. And if you want to do this, then we need another line of code here. Game object is equal, so first we spawn it, and now we set that velocity, and now the transform, we save it, we save it equal so now we have the transform of the last child, which we need that position to spawn the next rectangle. So here when one is destroyed, we want to create a new one, but also we want to save we want to connect this child to the main script. So in here we want to have a public easy obstacle 5, obstacle 5, and here when we spawn the children, we want to connect it to the script. So object get component easy obstacle 5 child easy obstacle 5 equal to this. So let's comment this this here to spawn a rectangle. Then we add movement save transform of last rectangle, and then connect child to this child script to this. Okay, so now that this is connected, we want to create a function here called public spawn new rectangle, and here we want to to know the type, so int type. And we know the type from the obstacle component, which, let's see if you added that. Yes. So before we destroy it, we want to spawn a new rectangle at the uh, last position. So here we spawn 28 from that array of rectangles at the type position. And now the position should be the last child transform plus this vector here, and then the rotation should be the one of the prefab. So now we spawn this at that position, and here we have a problem. We have a problem because we decided to have a random direction, and we want to add this or decrease it depending on the direction. But for now let's create only one direction, so it's no longer random. Just for now, we remove this, comment this as well, and we delete this. But so we want left here, just one direction. And after we spawn it, we want to add movement, so we need a rigid body 2D is equal the same speed as the other ones. Forgot to say velocity. So now it's moving, and we want to set the last transform to this. But to do that, we need create an empty object to spawn this rectangle into. Then we save the transform, and then we give it speed equal to. So first we spawn it, then we save the transform, then we give it movement, and here we want to call that function, but so easy obstacle 5 spawn a new rectangle, spawn, and the type we get it from the obstacle component. So here get the component obstacle, and then the type. Let's see if this works. and also if you do this, if you do it like this, then oh, also we don't need, we only need the left obstacle child destroyer, and we have a bug. um, Zoom out a little bit to see it better. So one problem is these are not part of the main object. That is one problem, and the other problem is we spawned with rotation 0 for some reason. Okay, let's check what that means. Quaternion identity. Maybe I don't understand this. The identity rotation in the word. Okay, I see. Then how do we spawn it with a certain rotation? Unity spawn instantiate with a rotation, certain rotation. Guess this one. So here instead of quaternion identity, we say this 0 on all axes except for the z axis where we place 90. So it seems that quaternion identity does not mean the rotation of the prefab, it means 0 on all axes. Let's see if this works. It does not work, but let's check that. Yes, the problem is we don't only, not only we need this also in the initial spawn. Hopefully this works. Yes, it works now, but we have no movement. That is one problem, and the other problem is these are not children of this main object. So here when we spawn it, after we spawn it, let's add this or maybe it's not necessary, I don't know. Yes, it is necessary. We need to say transform parent equal transform, so this transform of this object. So now these are children of this. Let's set a speed here in our easy obstacle script. Move speed 20 something. See, we have a couple bugs because okay, so first let's look at the main script here. first let's change that move speed a little bit. Seems to work pretty well, but now we get an error because because something is null here. Maybe we can destroy it with a little bit of delay. So you just create a or maybe just remove this. I think it is possible to say here enumerator like this, I believe. Now after this we wait a certain amount of time. Build, return, new, wait 4 seconds, 1 second. So now we wait 1 second and then we destroy it. And since it's on trigger enter, this happens only once, which is good because we don't want it to happen multiple times. So we transformed that on trigger function from void to a coroutine. So now we can wait 1 second before we destroy. Let's hope this works. It's the first time I'm using this. See, now we have a delay, but now we have a problem. So instead let's make it simpler. First we get this int obstacle type equal get component obstacle type, and then replace this here. Maybe that is a problem. Okay, let's reset. We have a problem here in I see here. When we spawn a new rectangle, we also want to change the parent of it to the main object. We got to do this in this spawn rectangle function. So it seems that is not it was not the fact that it happens instantly, but we forgot to add the. Okay, now we have a problem again. So this line where we spawn the new rectangle. Now we need to know which one is null. So is it this here from the when we spawn from the array, or is it this variable? Let's debug log, which means we show a message with this text obstacle type equal, and then we add the obstacle type to string, so we convert it from number to string. Let's see if this is the problem. and it seems that the problem is not that. So this is not a problem. This integer obstacle type is okay. Something here is not correct. 0. Remove this line of code. So we spawn from the array with position type. Then we spawn it at the last child, so the last rectangle plus the distance between them with this rotation. Okay, then we say that the last child is this one that we just spawned. Then we add speed, and then we make it child of this object, and something here seems to be null. Look at this. Yes, the problem is we here see we forgot to connect the rectangle to the main script. That is the problem. Now it should work with no problems. See, it works pretty well, but the speed is very high. This looks playable. Now let's see if it gets destroyed correctly. Yes, it does get destroyed correctly. Okay, so now we have five easy obstacles, and now we can move to make some medium difficulty ones, but I don't know how those should look. Okay, let me check that one again. Try to create the triangle here. But it looks quite complicated. Yes, we can try to do this. Not very easy, but we can try. Okay, let's try to create this one, and then we'll end the lesson for today. Okay, let's create a new object, empty object, and here in our prefabs we'll make a new folder, medium obstacles. We'll call this medium obstacle 1. This one is not very easy. Let me think 1 second. So first we need a prefab of the rectangles. So let's get those from the easy obstacle and unpack all of them so they're no longer a prefab. Now we want to keep them like this, but modify the scale a little bit. Okay, something like this. But I don't see all of them for some reason. Why are they not visible? Oh, okay, there are. Okay, now we can see them. Something like this. And instead of we call it medium obstacle 1 child. Okay, now we save them as prefabs. Can delete them now from the scene. But instead of having the pivot on the bottom, this time we'll make the pivot on the middle. So here in our sprite we place the first the standard one like this. Now should be the pivot should be in the middle. And let's see, we also need 2 destroyers for this, but to find that position so we want an initial spawn. Okay, let's create a script in first here in our medium obstacle 1. And here first thing that we do, we save those prefabs in an array public. And see how we did in the other script. Game object array obstacle medium obstacle 1 children. and we want an initial spawn. But first, let's see the position. Okay, we have two positions, left and right. So here we say public not game object but transform, or not even transform, just vector3. Vector3 is spawn position, um, or you can use transform spawn position left, and also transform spawn position right, because you see here in the video that we spawn from left and from right. Those are the spawn points. So in this object we'll create those two spawn locations using empty objects. I will call them spawn location right. Copy this spawn location left. And we place them slightly outside the view, somewhere here. Make it a whole number 3 minus 3. Okay, now we have those. Place them in our script, and like the other obstacle, we want an initial spawn. So void initial spawn, and let's see, around 4 or even more maybe. Let's say yes, 4 or 8 rectangles. And some of them spawn will move upwards, and some will move down. Let's think how we do this. This is not easy. Okay. This time we don't need to know the last rectangle, because they spawn from the exact same point. But what we need is to spawn them in order first of all. So we'll have here 4 spawns for each line. And these seem to move at 45 degrees angle. Okay. Okay. So for the left side, start from 0 to the maximum amount of so this represents the type. So for all the types, one by one, spawn one rectangle. But first, let's go back to the prefab. These have this attached to them. But we need a version for this the medium difficulty. Medium obstacle 1 child. We have some problems here. Prefab has missing scripts. Okay. Has missing scripts. I don't see any missing scripts. Seems that these prefabs are bugged. Need to delete them and recreate them from but here we need to know, so we need to create distance between the rectangles. So here vector 3 starting position is equal to this position, and here after we spawn one, so first we spawn it the starting position with the rotation 45. Let's copy this from here, 45 degrees, but first so 45 degrees, and now let's recreate those prefabs, and also let's look for the script. Okay, so medium obstacle 1 child for the children. We need to recreate those rectangles. Okay, so we save them. And let's add them to our array. In order. Okay. and after we spawn one, we change the starting position. In this case, we're starting from the left side up. So um, if you're at a 45 degrees angle, we want um, let's create a float. Child distance plus equal child distance times vector 3 1 1 again and 0. But we cannot do it like this. Need to say equal starting plus this. I have to say new here, new vector 3. Let's see if this works first before we continue. Check if this works. Okay, it's found. Okay, so first problem is these are rotated in the wrong direction. So there is no distance between them, but to modify that we need to know the y value here. So we want that plus so here child distance is equal to this plus, let's say, 0.5. So this is the length of one rectangle plus some extra space. As if we have some space at least between them. Yes, we do, but one problem is the rotation is incorrect. Maybe minus. Yes, minus. But the distance between them is a little bit too big. Style like this. And now that we need to do this for another 3 directions. So we start from the left, but now we go down. So it starts from spawn left position, but here child distance multiplied by this um, on the x-axis they move, the value is positive, but on the y is not, so it's minus. And let's see if it is 45. See if this works. Yes, it does work, but we have a problem. We have a problem because of the pivot. So I think we need to use the other sprite with the pivot on the bottom. Let's replay the scene, see if this works. No. See where is the sprite renderer here. First let's remove that easy obstacle script. Then make sure that this is the one with the pivot on the bottom. Yes, it is. Let's check if each one has the correct sprite. And now we have the same problem. So instead we want to add a 360 to this. Okay, or not 360, let's see, 90 plus 90, 180. So 180 here, plus 180. So okay, see, now they look much better. Okay, the distance between them is still too big. Let's make this lower. And now we need to do the same for the other sides. But now we start from the right. So let's comment this to know from right up. This is right down. Now sorry, not right, left up, down. Here we go right up. So we start from that right that spawn position right object, and now we want to so minus on the x-axis and positive on the y-axis. And here the rotation we need to experiment and see. I don't know, we need to try. Should be 45 for this one, and the other one we go right now, minus on the x and minus on the y, and the rotation we need to change this, maybe minus, like this works. So this is the initial spawn. Okay, but see, we have a problem. Okay, not sure what is Yes, here we forgot to change this to the right spawn position. Okay, see, now this works now, but uh, now we need a couple of things. First thing we need to do is when uh, when this is when a rectangle is spawned, we want to add it as child to this object. So object transform parent equal to transform. So this transform, and let's copy this line and place it in each for. Okay, and now we have an empty script for the children, and let's select all of the prefabs and add component that script. Now let's check if the collider is the size of the collider is correct. Yes, it is. And now we want to copy the logic from the other script here. Copy this. Okay, and instead we want to connect it to medium obstacle 1, medium obstacle 1, and we want to recreate that function. Okay, let's copy it from our other script here in medium obstacle, and now we don't need this last transform, the position. Okay, so this is color. We'll have two integers for this color. So here we spawn it from the array with a certain color, and the position should depend on the type. Um, okay, so this depends on the type, and here in let's call this color type instead, and the other one is for direction type. Let's call it. And here when we spawn it, we want to give it a direction type. So we'll say left up is 0, this is a 1, 2, 3, and 4 for each direction. So after we get the object and add it as child, we want to get the component, that script. So get component, and here in the medium obstacle child we want to add a public integer direction type. So we get the component medium obstacle child component, and then direction, and this one should be 1, and we copy paste it in each for, but with a different value. Okay, and here one thing that we need to do is to create the destroyer. Here you see we have that not here, sorry, where is it, here in the obstacle, the obstacle destroyer, but um, we also have the obstacle child destroyer. We need to create those. So to do that, we first of all, I have an error here somewhere. Yes, because here we need to get that obstacle type and then direction type. Okay, now it works, and now we can create those destroyer of child. We have another error. Yes, here we need to spawn, but depending on the direction, we give it a different rotation, not position, end position, end position. So let's copy this line and check the type. Direction type is 1. Then we spawn it with that certain but let's declare this before the if, like this, otherwise we get an error. And let's say this is this because we get an error if it's empty. So if direction type is 1, it means it's on the left side. So here the position should be spawn position left. So this is the position, and then here we don't need this. We need the rotation. We copy it from here. Copy, paste. And now we do this for each case. Else if direction type is 2, and also here let's have a move speed, public float move speed. So if it's direction type 2, again we spawn from the left, but with the rotation from this 4. And we copy this 2 more times, 1 for the 3, 1 for 4. Now we need to spawn from the right side, so we place this here, and then we replace the rotations. But this is not enough. We need to also add force to these. I have an error here for some reason. We need another parenthesis like this. Let's delete the update function. We don't need this. Okay. And here we want after we spawn a rectangle, we want to add force. Okay. But first let's look at those prefabs. here we also have a problem. This, why does this yes, the problem is because is the wrong script, medium obstacle 1, and then that. Okay, now we don't have errors. Let's check if we have rigid body on those prefabs. Obstacles. Why is this called easy? These have the wrong names, but they have the correct components. Okay. So here let's get that rigid body to the component and change the velocity to this vector, but multiplied by move speed. Okay, now we copy this after each in each 4, but the vector, the direction should be different, so we replace it. Okay, now let's go to the inspector and select speed here in the medium obstacle 1, speed 2.5. that distance will be set in the script, and now let's see if they move. If they move, we can continue. See, they work, but not all of them. Why does that one not move? That's the question. Okay, so let's look at this. I close it. Okay. So those 3 move correctly, but that one doesn't for some reason. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this one. Rigid body. Okay, I see. We have a problem with the rigid body here because we selected the freeze position here. We need to remove this. The rotation should be fixed, but let's remove it too. Let's try again. If it's not that, then we have a problem with the code. Okay, now it moves correctly, but we need to add those destroyers. Child destroyers and a box collider. We add the tag trigger, and now we just need to place it at the correct position, and to do that we'll play the scene and pause it once we find position. Okay, so somewhere around here we should have this. Okay, let's save that position, so copy. Now we close the scene and we paste that position, and we make copies of it, like this one, and the other one with minus, and the other one with minus on both, like this. Okay, and here after we spawn this um, this object, we want also to set the direction type and the velocity. From here we copy these two lines, but with different vectors here in the velocity. So let's copy it first on each line, each if, and then we set it to the type. And now we need to copy those vectors. So the first one is correct, second one, and now we should have this object should be, but one thing I forgot, we also need to um, set the parent to this object. First thing we do after we spawn it, set it to uh, um, uh, set it as children of this object. And now it should be infinite, should be, but it's not because we have a bug here. Okay, something is null here. Let's see exactly what it is, but I think let's close this in 1 second. Okay, so let's check the function. Let's change this just because it's confusing to color type, and okay, the direction type makes sense. Something is null here. Okay, when we debug this, let's also debug the direction. So here let's call it color type, and direction type is equal to direction type to string. So we see both to make sure it's not this variable that is null. Okay, let's see. Oh, it is not that, it's something else here in the spawn function. Okay, get component obstacle type, this one is correct. Let's see what we did wrong here. Okay, let's look at on trigger enter. Okay, something here is null. That's the error. Let's close the scene 1 second. Check if we have all the prefabs. We do have them here, but with the wrong name. But that doesn't matter. Yes, I am not sure what the problem is, but something is null. Okay, let's first make sure we have that rigid body. We do have it. Okay, then we set it to um, okay. Okay, might be this problem here. Might be this. Okay. Let's add all those lines in the ifs. Maybe that is the problem. I'm not sure. Let's try it. So first, let's get that connect those button, not like this. Sorry, this is not correct because first we spawn the object. Let's place all of these inside each if instead. Maybe that is the problem. And here we can comment these lines. We have the same error, so that's not the problem. Let's revert to the what it was before. Something here is null. Okay, let's check line by line. Okay, so we have the color type, the direction type, then we make an empty game object and we set it to this one because otherwise we have an error in the ifs. And then depending on the direction, we spawn that rectangle with the color type at either the left side or the right side, and then with a certain rotation. Okay, but let's check those values again. Seems to be okay. Those seem to be okay. Let's make sure these have the medium obstacle child. They do have it. I don't see a problem with this. Okay, something one variable here is null somewhere. I'm not sure what is going on here. Yes, one problem here that I noticed this, we need to delete this. These two we need to delete because these two need to be deleted. So we know that is not the color type or the direction because these seem to have the correct values here. Then it must be something in the function. So here we connect these two, the rectangle to the main script, but I don't understand what is the problem here. Okay, so we set the transform to this. What is going on here? Okay, let's look at this one more time to be sure it is correct here. We have the prefabs, so I'm not sure what is the null reference. What is null here? Maybe it's the, yes, maybe yes, I think I found the problem. The problem is here here we forget to connect these two. In the initial spawn we forget to connect the child script to the main script. So here after we spawn it we need to connect those. So copy paste this line in each if. Now should work. See, it works pretty well, but not perfectly. We have some issues. See, those are connected to each other for some reason, and that's not the only problem. um, this is very weird. Also, yes, let's pause this 1 second. Okay, yes, okay, we need to destroy them maybe instantly. It's almost working, but the position is incorrect sometimes, and I don't understand why only sometimes. Let's zoom in on this and see. Okay, so this is here. Okay, so we spawn it immediately and then we wait. So this is correct here, but maybe let's look at the destroyer. 1 second. Yes, I think I see what the problem is. These um, we need to change the size of these. Do something smaller. That's an upgrade, but still not correctly. They are not. These are not correctly spawned. Um, Here we have a problem. First, let's make sure we spawn it only once. Okay. Okay, now let's look at those vectors, make sure they're correct. Seems to be correct. Yes, it is. Where those two stuck together, I don't know. See, those are stuck together for some reason. Let's place those at the. Let's make them back to their original size. But on both axes, let's add some value plus, but in this case minus 1, and then y +1. So we add 1. We move them diagonally. So here +1, also on the y +1. This one -1, and also on the y-axis, and this one -1 and +1 on the x. See if this fixes it. Let's select all the destroyers to see them in the scene. Seem to be placed correctly. See if they connect. Yes, but it's still not enough. So we want to do it again. -1 here, +1 on the y. This one +1 on x and +1 on y. We need this to be at a longer distance. See, now they spawn correctly. So now we created that one. Let's remove those here in let's remove those debug logs because those are correct. And I think we'll stop for today. We created let's see, so we have 5 easy obstacles and 1 medium. Let's save this medium here, the medium folder, and we'll think of others for the next time, which next time is this weekend. We meet at the same time this weekend, and hopefully we can make a complete game. uh, for the other projects we made the incomplete version, but for this one I hope that we'll make a complete version, and hopefully I can see you tomorrow. You, are you still here? Okay, then see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for coming. See you. Bye.